Hi everybody, it's Stephanie with Planning with Peanutty. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm setting up this little do-it-yourself micro-sized planner for April. So if you want to see how I have it all set up for the year, it is a do-it-yourself planner because the Happy Planner doesn't make a planner this size, but it was a lot of fun. If you want to see that video, check out, I'll put it in the description below. And you can see how we set up March. We've got our little dividers there. We have our dashboard. If you want to see how I made those dashboards, you cut those down from a classic size, you get 2 out of that. So check out that video as well. We just have videos for everything micro related. Actually, I have a whole playlist if you really want to be generous and help me out. Check out that playlist. But you can see I took an old mini planner that had expired and repurposed it for dividers for the little micro planner. And you can see it kind of leaves that quarter of that planner page exposed, and we don't get a full design on the front of the divider, so we got to cover both sides of that. And so I like to grab some patterned paper. Here's some 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. You could use smaller paper because all we need is 3 by 4, and I thought it'd be cute if we use one of these book covers. And with Easter coming up in April, maybe we could use this Littlest Rabbit book cover. The problem is we need it 3 inches wide, and you can see 3 inches wide kind of goes onto those books next to it. 4 inches tall is fine. It's the 3 inches wide that a little too small. But I think we're going to try to figure it out anyways. But I also have this fun rainbow. It looks like paint splotches, and then that red that's on the back of that. But I think we could go with this rainbow for April. I think that's pretty. So I'm going to grab a piece of micro paper. Again, it's 3 by 4 inches. If you don't have micro paper, you can measure it out yourself. And I'm just going to lay that on here and trace around it, trying to see if there's a spot that will have enough of the pastel colors that I want for April. So we can really position it anywhere we want on there. All right, and then I'm going to grab my pencil. And we're just going to trace around that real quick. I flip the paper over so that I don't have those holes on a side I'm trying to trace. All right, and then I'm just going to grab my pair of handy dandy scissors and trim that up a little better. All right, then I'm going to grab my Happy Planner punch. Now be careful with the Happy Planner punch because it is marked for the classic and the mini size Happy Planner paper. So if you're punching pages for your micro, you want those 4 holes centered so it's not to the white mark. I've marked mine with a Sharpie, but you'll have to be careful because it's not down at that white mark. You need to center those 4 holes on your 4-inch paper. So I'm just going to grab my paper that we cut out and just slide that in there. It is cardstock, so it's a little bit thicker so we don't have problems punching it. If it's a real thin paper, you might want to double up because it has a hard time with thin papers. All right, so now I've got my little 3 by 4 punched pattern paper. All right, and that would work well. But I'm actually thinking we can do better. I really want to use that book. So before I glue it down, let's go ahead and grab that paper with the rabbit book on it. And let's trace that as well. And we'll just cut that out as well. And let's kind of play around with this and see if we can get it to work. So we're just going to trace that again, cut it out. And then I realized as I'm cutting it out, I really wasn't careful about not damaging any of the other books on that paper. Usually I'm more careful than that so that, you know, we can reuse those images. And then thinking of just the book, maybe we could layer it over the painted. I'm going to clean it up a little better. Maybe we could center it there on that painted background, but it's not my favorite. Maybe the back of that book paper. Let's try that. So we're just going to cut that down too. We're going to just try everything and see if we get one that we like. Okay. I'm not crazy about it, not crazy about the paint. And then you know what? I remembered that there was a back of the paint, and I think that is actually going to do it. That red matches kind of the darker tones of that book. I think that's going to work. So I'm just going to grab my glue stick. I love my glue stick. Those are very cheap, especially back to school. Usually you can get them, what, like $1 each. And then we'll just put that down there. We don't want to cover any of the holes because we do still want it to turn on the discs. And then sometimes I need to come back in and get my corners a little better. There we go. And then I was a little messy, so I'm just going to grab a Kleenex there and wipe that glue right up. Not a problem. Just tidying up those corners. All right. And then I think that's actually pretty cute. We've got that rabbit book on there. All right, then we can grab that glue stick again and glue it right to the front of our April divider. There we go. And then you can see what's nice about that glue stick is you can kind of slide the papers. You can still make adjustments because it is a wet glue. All right, there we go. So now we have the front of our April divider done. And still turns. All right, so then let me open up March here so you can get an idea what we're gonna do. We're gonna make our calendar, our monthly view for April. So a couple years ago when they were still making the micro size notebooks, I had started my planner. So they were still making the notebooks and I knew to buy as many as I could find, especially back then. They used to have sales all the time and coupons all the time, these craft stores. This was before the pandemic, when all the craft stores kind of quit doing the coupons, probably trying to make up for those losses. But I have a lot of the dot grid and the graph micro size paper. So I just need to I like to pick out a theme for the whole month. So a color scheme for the whole month. And, you know, it's spring and April. March, I use this kind of peachy color. But I'm thinking of something a little brighter for April. Maybe this yellow. I do like that navy blue. Because I can use those kind of palm leaves for all summer. So I think we'll go with the yellow. And then I just need to pull out about 5 or 6 of these pages so that we can draw our monthly and weekly views. And then I also like to grab a sheet of note paper because on that very back, the very end of the month, we'll just have that graph paper on the back of that last week. So I'd rather have a cute note page there. So I'm going to look at my selection of lined micro paper. And I think we'll just pick one of these purple ones. And then that can become my note page at the end of the month. You could make it your currently page. You could put birthdays there, you know, whatever you want. Okay, so I'm just going to grab 2 of these now. And I need a ballpoint pen and my ruler. And I did try fancier pens, but I find these cheap Bic pens to work best for this. Those other more expensive pens, the ink would tend to pool up while I was trying to draw it, or it was a little too smeary. I was having a hard time finding the perfect pen, but this Bic actually works, I think, best. So I'm actually going to come in and start on the inside corner this time. And so I've just put a little dot on that bottom left-hand corner, and then I count over 5 dots or boxes and up 6. I'll put the exact measurements again, so if you don't have micrograph paper or micro dot grid paper, you could still draw it out on your own. We're basically making it a little bit smaller than 4 inches tall because that paper is 4 inches tall. And then just about the width of the page without the holes and the decoration where the holes are. So 5 dots or boxes wide and 6 dots or boxes tall. And again, I'll put those exact dimensions in the description. And then once you have your 1/2 of the month drawn out, we can use that as a template for the second half of the page. So we don't have to count the dots or boxes again. We could just hold that and measure. Now you could use January's calendar as a template for the rest of the year. So you don't have to count out. I do it for the benefit of those who maybe are watching me set this up for the first time. But you can definitely pull out, you know, March there and use it. All right, so you can see you just line those up and then come across. Now make sure you don't do both sides all the way across. We got to leave one side open. I leave the left side open just because that's the way that the Happy Planner was doing it, and I like that. But you can leave the right side open if you prefer it that way. So I'm just going to connect that grid. I think it's easiest going from your dots down to your straight line, but whatever works for you. And so there you can see our blank plain calendar page, and that ballpoint pen, I think it just gets a nice crisp look. I think it looks like it's been printed off. So then the weekly view, I like to do this kind of horizontal view. You could do like 4 boxes. You could do daily pages. I've seen some really cute daily pages. I like to do the week view. And this one, it's as wide as you can make it. And then I count 8 squares or dots tall. And again, it's almost 4 inches tall. You could see you come in a little bit from the top and the bottom and then divide it into fourths. And I'll put the exact measurements again in the description. And then the same thing on the other side. This side I do draw into 8 boxes, and then you can just leave one open for notes or decorations. I usually decorate mine. And again, I like to go from the dot at the top down to your straight line. I find that easiest than trying to go from the straight line down to the dot. All right, so now we have our weekly view and our monthly view. All right, then I'm gonna pull out my hot pink dates and holidays sticker book. This is my go-to sticker book with these do-it-yourself planners, or if you're redating an old planner, I find this sticker book works the best. Or if you have an undated planner, this sticker book's great for that. So we have these fun monthly stickers in this cute font, and so I'm just gonna grab my tweezers so I can play around with where I want to put that down. Now it won't fit across the top, but I just turn it on its side and pop it in there, and I think that's really cute. There we go. All right, and then from the same sticker book, we can grab these tiny little black numbers, which I love. I do wish they were on a paper background so that when you're redating an old planner, you wouldn't have to put correction tape down first, but they are clear, and that does work for for an undated planner and for creating your own planner like this little micro planner. So I'm just going to come with my tweezers, help me get these numbers down straight. And you can pick any corner you want to put the number in. I like the top left corner again because that's the way the Happy Planner does it, and I liked how it looked, so I just keep doing it. And if you like your month to start with Monday, you know, you could do it however you want. So I keep the Sunday start for the calendar view, but you could do it however you want. And I'll fast forward this for you so we could speed up and put all these days down. And I think these little black numbers are the perfect size for this tiny little micro planner. And then I think that just gives it a nice professional look as if it had been printed out. And this is one of those rare months where the 30th is perfectly in the bottom right corner. I gotta love that. All right, then let's also go in and date our weeks. Make sure you are starting with the correct numbered day. We've already had the 1st through 3rd in a different month, so we gotta make sure, or on a different section of the planner. In the previous month's week ended with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of April. All right, there we go. So I'll do the rest of those weeks later. Okay, so then let's come in, grab that monthly view again, because I do have some of these journaling stickers. I like to put the days of the week across the top of the page, but there's not too much room up there. So these journaling stickers from the Cactus Paper Company, she has these cute days of the week, and they're pretty small. So I'm just going to come in and trim around those days of the week. And then I'm going to cut in between kind of where you would abbreviate the words. So like Sunday, I'm going to cut after sun. And do that for the whole week. Careful using sharp objects there, because I don't have room. You could see Wednesday there would cover like 3 days. So I'm just gonna come in and cut around those abbreviations. And we can put those then at the top of the week. There we go. And I'll put a link to her website in the comments below. You can find other days of the week. It doesn't obviously have to be part of this set, but these are stickers I had already, and I don't use those days of the week stickers in my journaling. Okay, so now I can come in with my tweezers. I used to use just the letter from the alphabet sticker book, so just an S for Sunday. But I kind of like this better. I think it's pretty cute. I'm going to run out. I don't think I have enough for the whole year. There we go. And these are a little small, but I think they're pretty cute. And they sent her nicely over their day. There we go. All right, so now that monthly view is ready for decoration. So I went and grabbed a bunch of seasonal sticker books, the spring sticker books. I even pulled the Disney sticker books. But I'm really loving this seasonal page of decorative stickers. These butterflies are so cute, and this little bee. Maybe I'll go with the bee since we've got the yellow down the middle of the page. Maybe the daffodil. Maybe keeping the yellow theme going. They are a little more golden than the paper, but I still think that's pretty cute. All right, let me grab those tweezers again and figure out where to place this bee. I don't know if we want them too close to the line. And I try not to cover the number of days. And he's just about the perfect size for that margin. All right, and one of the daffodils. It's a little wider than that edge, but I think we can have most of it on there, and then we'll just trim anything that falls off. And I'm trying to see how low I want that stem, if I want it hanging off the bottom or a little higher. And then the flower is a nice pale yellow, so the numbers would show through if I put it over the numbers, but I'm just trying to play with the spacing there. Alright, then it is a pale sticker with that solid black line running down the middle of it. So I'm going to grab my little Presto correction fluid pen here. I'll put links to all the tools I like to use in the description below, so check that out. But I'm just going to run a little bit of correction fluid right underneath that transparent sticker. And I'm going slow because this pen is quite generous with the correction fluid. I don't want to kind of overflow the area. So I'm just trying to barely put down any at all. And it does have a nice precision tip, so it's not too sloppy. Alright, and then press that down. Looks pretty good. No black line running right through the middle of that sticker. And then we can just come in and trim the excess off. There we go. Alright, so there's our cutely decorated month of April. Now, I did have issues with my camera, I apologize. But I came back in and drew the cute little bee flight path with this pen. It's got a nice fat kind of felt tip on there. So drew a little whimsical flight path. Alright, and then I did glue that side of the calendar to the divider. And the other thing I was able to do was decorate my note page at the end of the month. So there's that lined paper. And then I took some of those journaling stickers from that same kit that I took the days of the week from and used those there. So I did glue it to the back of that last week. And then you could see I used some of those journaling stickers, just layered them on there. There's kind of this torn sticker, use that at the bottom and the rest of it at the top. And I did end up using both sides of that washi sticker. So just a couple of stickers from that kit, that journaling kit from Cactus Paper Company. And then I did have to re-punch that hole where I had put sticker over the bottom hole. And then one of the little important stickers there. I thought that was pretty cute. And then you could just put some notes there. Again, you could do currently or a list or whatever you want. But I like having that little note page there at the back of the month. Okay, so that's going to conclude our April month setup. I am going to decorate these weekly pages, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss those. But there's our monthly view. I do think it turned out pretty cute. I'll give you guys a close-up here, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. I like the yellow theme we have going, that cute little bumblebee with its little flight path to visit all the April flowers. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think it turned out really cute and fun. I like the grid. It turns out nice and professional looking with little touches of whimsy like the fun fonts. Click like if you like this video. Subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.